So we've put Thanksgiving behind us, and now we've got Mars on the move, headed into the next big holiday.
Yes, and we've got Mars. Thank God Mars in Aquarius is in our rearview mirror. Normally Mars goes through a sign in 6 weeks, and it's where you project your ego, where you associate your ego with something it is that you are doing. And normally we'll work on something for about 6 weeks or so, and if it hasn't come to you, we'll go, yeah, okay, time to move on. And concurrently, when there is grief and aggravation in your life, usually as a direct result of Mars, it's again 6 weeks in and out. Mars went into Aquarius May 15th, and it exited last week.
Wow.
And that's a long time for Mars to be in any sign, and so thank God that that is done for all of the signs, and all the acrimonious, contentious stuff done. So now Mars is in Pisces, and I think that it's important to know where that is and what you can expect from it. So for Sagittarians, the sign that we're in, Mars is in Pisces, is in their 4th house of home, and they want to shake things up at home. They're beginning a whole bunch of new starts. Jupiter has entered their sign, and because of that, they want to clean things out at home. They want to streamline their home. They want to make sure that their home is a good, safe place for them to go forward with now that they have transformed themselves. They want to be able to make sure that they have a solid base of operations to do that from. Good time to throw a lot of stuff out. For Capricorns, this energy is in the 3rd house of their day-to-day living. And so the pace of their life is about to pick up. They're going to find that either they get volunteered for something or they end up doing something more. And they end up really trying to just keep pace with their day and not fall behind the power curve. So to Capricorns everywhere, I say leave early and leave plenty of time, because that's the kind of thing that just makes you fall behind the power curve. For Aquarians, Mars is in their 2nd house of money. So not only have they been mad for the last 6 months, now they get to spend a boatload of money. And it's not like they're spending money on, ooh, I want to buy myself this or that. They're spending money to repair things, on unanticipated expenses. And for a lot of them, it's going to be their last nerve, you know, so.
Those are the worst kind.
It really is. I feel bad because after 6 months of fighting, now you get to pay for it. That kind of a deal. Yeah, I know. It's like, God, it just gets worse. For Pisces, Mars is in their sign for the first time in 2 years. And Pisces everywhere can look at the things that they tried to put into effect 2 years ago, and they get another bite at that apple. They get another chance to make that happen. And Pisces everywhere are going to be very, very assertive. They are going to become the Robert Conrads of the zodiac. You had knocked this off my shoulder kind of a deal. And they're not going to back down from anyone or anything. And for the first time in like 2-3 years, the universe is not conspiring against Pisces, which is great because they can largely use the break. For Aries, Mars is in their 12th house of their own undoing. And Aries, they got to be really careful not to stick their feet in their mouth, because that's the very definition of Mars and Pisces in the 12th house, is the Aries words fall out of their mouth that end up being used against them. So, and it's sort of like, you don't need a worst enemy, Aries, as long as Mars is in your 12th house, you can be it for yourself. So Aries have to be very careful what fights they pick, and to make sure that they're expressly invited to attend a fight. Don't just go because your friend's going. That kind of a deal. For Tauruses, this is great energy for them. This energy is in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives, and they largely get a break. They have been like the little boy with his fingers in the dike for the last 6 months, just plugging hole after hole after hole. Finally, this month, the holes are all plugged. Good. And Taurus can actually say, okay, that wall is going to hold. I can now count on my friends and colleagues to help me get to where it is I want to be. And they get to achieve a series of long-standing hopes, wish, goals, and objectives without the universe stepping in to block them. So. Yeah. For Pat, I say hooray.
Yeah, well, I have 2 Tauri in my house.
Well, both of those Tauri would be really happy with Mars and Pisces. It's very empowering for them.
Good.
Which is a good thing. For Geminis, not so much. Boy, it's at the top of their chart. It's in their 10th house of career and public standing. And I mean, the fight is on for Geminis everywhere. And they are not going to go quietly into that good night. They are going to fight for their career. They're going to fight for public standing. They're going to fight for what it is that they believe in. And people are going to be surprised at the strength of the fight. And it'll take them 6 weeks, but I bet they emerge on top.
I bet they do too.
You know, so for Cancers, this energy is in their 9th house of the law. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance, all are very important to Cancers over the next 6 weeks or so. And they are going to fight for their individual rights. And Cancers everywhere, if you have to beg for help, do it in person. Get down on bended knee and be sincere when you ask for help, because it really takes a jerk to say, no, I'm not going to help you. And I think that if they do that, they'll find the law's on their side and they can make good headway with that. For Leos, it's about other people's resources flowing your way. This is about Leo trying to maximize an existing resource and capitalize on an existing resource to get some money out of it. They may have to spend a little bit of money, but if you spend a little bit of money, you're going to get a great amount in return. So it's a good thing as far as that goes. Yeah. And these are not your individual Leo's resources. These are the resources that Leos share with other people.
Gotcha.
So it's a matter of having other people work towards your end. It's kind of the thing to do there. For Virgos, Mars is in their 7th house of open enemies and partners, and as a Virgo, I shudder because it just means everybody's going to be yelling at you, pointing a finger and go, you, and Virgos, you know, we should take it because we say a lot of stuff, and we like to think we're right all the time, and we'll find out whether we are or aren't, so they have to, and don't fight blindly, Virgos, pick and choose your battles, and when you're wrong, just say, I'm wrong. It really isn't that hard to do. I actually practice it in the mirror. Because it doesn't come easy to Virgos to say we were wrong. But when we are, just do it. People will stop yelling at you. For Libras, Mars now is in their 6th house of work and responsibilities. Libras, you get a lot more work and not a lot more money. Yay! Andrew throws me a dirty look and throws me out of the studio. It's a matter of a lot of activity going around where they do their job. Not the job that they do or how they do their job, but where they do their job, there's a lot of activity. And they want to be a part of that. They want to be a helping hand with that because it'll end up making their work environment a more pleasant place for them and make it easier for them to deal with. And also, if they have any kind of medical issues, get a second and even a third opinion, especially with Mercury retrograde for the next 2 weeks or so. And then for Scorpio, the last sign of the zodiac, they just want to have fun. They just want to have a good time. They finally, their reconstruction of them is complete. They're making money now, which is something they haven't had for the last 2 or 3 years. And now they want to go out and have a good time. So I would like to be on any Scorpio's Christmas list. Woohoo! Because it's a time for good gifts from them. So
sounds good to me.
And good for love and relationships for Scorpio. And they can use it. So tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac with Mars entering Pisces until the new year.
Sounds pretty good in spite of the fact we're in Mercury retrograde.
I know, in spite of that. It's not that bad a one.
Good.
Thank God.
We'll see you next week. Do it again.
Always a pleasure.